Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about 1 year. Just one, 2026. And look, according to a ton of new analysis, this isn't just another date on the calendar. It's the year AI stops being this cool new toy and starts running the show. It's going to rewrite the rules for everything: work, business, the economy, you name it. So let's just start with that simple question. Because this isn't about some sci-fi future, you know? This is a shift that is already underway, and the biggest consequences are set to lock in over the next, say, 18 to 24 months. So, I'll ask again, are you ready? The term that all the analysts are throwing around is inflection point. You know what that is, right? It's that moment on a graph where the line suddenly goes vertical, where everything changes direction. And for AI, 2026 is that moment. It's when it stops being an experiment we all play with and becomes the actual engine that runs our companies. So what does that actually mean? Well, think of it this way. It's the difference between using a calculator to do math a little bit faster and completely redesigning your entire finance department because an autonomous system can just run the books. It's not an upgrade, it's a complete, from the ground up rebuild. Okay, let's really dive into this. To understand it, we've got to look at the two massive forces, these twin engines that are driving all this change. One is digital, and the other is becoming, well, startlingly physical. First, we have to get our heads around the shift in AI itself. We've all gotten used to generative AI, like ChatGPT, right? You give it a prompt, it gives you a response. But the next wave is something called Agentic AI. With this, you don't give it a prompt, you give it a goal. It then figures out the steps, uses other software, and gets the job done all by itself. It stops being a tool and starts being an autonomous worker. And this shift, it's having an immediate and pretty dramatic economic impact. This new agentic workforce is sparking what's being called the Great Software Crisis, and it's threatening the very business model of some of the biggest tech companies out there. Here's why. For decades, software companies have charged per seat, meaning they get paid for every human employee using their product. Simple enough. But what happens when one human manager can now oversee 20 AI agents doing the work of an entire team? Well, you can see it right here. The software provider's revenue just nosedives by 90%. The whole model is collapsing, forcing a really painful switch to a new system, paying for the outcome, not for the access. All right, so that's engine number one. Now for the second engine, because this new workforce isn't just a bunch of invisible code floating around in the cloud. Nope, it's actually starting to take physical form. We're talking about the rise of commercial humanoid robotics. And the need for this it's undeniable. By 2030, the world could be facing a labor shortage of nearly 8 million manufacturing workers. Populations are getting older, people's job preferences are changing. All of this is creating a huge gap that our economies need to fill just to keep growing. And this right here, this is the solution. I mean, just look at these numbers. A few years ago, a humanoid robot was $1 million plus science project. By 2026, it's expected to be a commercial product you can buy for less than $100,000. And by 2030, the target price is about $20,000. That's actually cheaper than a full-time minimum wage employee in a lot of countries. The economic case is pretty much becoming unavoidable. So you put it all together. You've got these new digital and physical workforces coming online at the same time. The result? We're heading straight into what's being called the Great Economic Reshuffle. And this isn't just about cool new tech. It's a fundamental reordering of what has value and who has it. The scale of this is, well, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. McKinsey is projecting that by 2030, AI could add an extra $13 trillion to global economic activity. I mean, for perspective, that's like adding another entire China to the world economy. It's just massive. But here's the real paradox of this new economy. For years, we all thought automation was going to hit the lowest paid jobs first. The data's showing the exact opposite. As you can see here, it's the jobs in the 80th percentile of earnings. We're talking financial analysts, writers, middle managers. They're the ones who are most exposed to AI automation. Why? Because their job is based on manipulating information. And that's exactly what AI is getting scarily good at. And that means that entire industries, ones built on those routine, predictable cognitive tasks, are now at serious risk. Think about it. Call centers, basic accounting, paralegal services, any kind of content creation that just follows a template, they're all facing a very real existential threat from AI that is faster, cheaper, and frankly getting more capable every single day. Okay, so all of this sounds incredibly disruptive, and yeah, it is. So the most crucial point here is figuring out how to prepare. The rest of this decade isn't going to reward the people who try to fight this change. It's going to reward the people who learn how to orchestrate it. The job market is basically splitting right down the middle. On one side, you've got roles based on routine processes, and those are declining. But on the other side, you've got these roles that are seeing explosive growth. And what are they? They're the jobs that involve designing and managing the AI systems, keeping them secure, or providing those high-touch human skills that AI just can't replicate, like nursing. So, if you want to stay relevant, the consensus is really clear. You need a hybrid skill set. It's not enough to be a tech expert, and it's not enough to be a great communicator. The real value is in the fusion. You've got to combine AI literacy with critical thinking. You need to be able to interpret data while also using ethical judgment. This blend of technical skills and very human skills is the absolute key. So what can you do, starting today? Here's a 4-step plan. First, audit your own job. What parts are just repetitive? Automate them. Second, acquire new skills. Get micro-credentials in things like AI literacy or cybersecurity. Third, build what you could call a digital doppelganger. Train AI agents to handle all your routine work for you. And finally, use all that time you just freed up to orchestrate. Shift your focus away from doing the tasks to orchestrating the outcomes. The big takeaway here is that our value at work is shifting. It's no longer about our personal output, right? It's about our ability to guide and collaborate with these intelligent systems to get to a goal. It's like we're becoming the conductors of an autonomous orchestra. And that leaves us with a defining question for the rest of this decade. As AI and robots take over the work of our hands and the routine work of our minds, we're left with a huge challenge, but also an incredible opportunity to decide what our new work is going to be. And that is the real story of 2026.